Hot and sunny sums up the weather for most of us for most of this week. How hot? Well, there's a good chance we could record the highest temperatures of the year. Here's the reason why. The pressure pattern set up like this, with a big area of high pressure over to the east and low pressure down to the southwest. That's how we start the working week. And as we run through the week, yes, things wobble around a little bit. But essentially, by the time we get to Friday, we've still got the same setup. High pressure to the east, low pressure down to the southwest. And all the active low pressures just whizzing way up to the north. That's because that's where the jet stream is. So the jet stream's shifted north, allowing this area of high pressure to dominate. And with high here and low pressure here, that means the winds at the surface are wafting up warmer air from Spain and even parts of Africa. That's why we're seeing the high temperatures throughout this week. OK, let's rewind the clock and go through the week day by day and see just how high those temperatures are going to get. Not completely clear cuts. There will always be the threat of one or two showers on Tuesday, the southwest of England, maybe South Wales. It's the possibility. You might hear a rumble of thunder, but any showers quickly disappearing, fading away to the west. A bit more cloud maybe for Northern Ireland, cloudy at times in northern Scotland. And again, quite breezy on Tuesday along the east coast, and particularly for parts of southwest England and south and west Wales. It could be quite gusty at times, particularly over the other side of the mountains. So the north coast of Devon and Cornwall may be fairly blustery during Tuesday. Temperature-wise, well, the heat is really going to be focused across the south, 30, 31 degrees Celsius. Cooler on the east coast with that breeze, but starting to warm up across parts of Scotland. We could, across the Highlands, get into the mid-20s easily, but the coast will always be a little cooler. As we go into Wednesday, well, the low is still down to the southwest, the high kind of edging away, but another one building in its place behind it. So not a great deal of change. The isobars are opening up, so perhaps not as breezy in eastern areas or across the southwest as Tuesday. Still a hint of an easterly wind could bring a bit of low cloud and mist to eastern areas. Initially, well inland could start quite drab. By the late morning period, most of that mist and low cloud will be confined to the coast, and even the coast will tend to brighten up at times. But the threat of some of that mist, or ha, as it's known in eastern Scotland, could subdue the temperatures here. But for most places, it's a sunny day on Wednesday, and temperatures maybe a little higher, 32 degrees Celsius across the southeast, many places in the mid-20s. The winds, as I say, lighter on Wednesday across the southwest and West Wales compared to Tuesday. Not a great deal of change as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday. But notice this weather front. It's just an indication of a bit more moisture and a bit more humidity drifting up from France. And that may be a source of some heavy thundery showers on Wednesday night and into Thursday. A lot of uncertainty about the scope of those thunderstorms, where we see them, how heavy they are. But the potential that drifts northwards through the night and then during the day on Thursday to bring some heavy showers over parts of northern England, Northern Ireland, North Wales, and edging up into parts of southern and western Scotland. As I said, stay tuned for more details on that. Will firm up as we get closer to the time. Again, some coasts will be a little misty and murky around the southwest perhaps, but also parts of the east coast. But for most, hazy sunshine. There will be more cloud around generally, so it won't be, the blue skies won't be as noticeable. The sunshine, as I say, a little more hazy, and as a result, temperatures may be a little lower in some spots, but probably a more humid feel. And again, in the southeast, 32 Celsius is possible. By Friday, again, not a great deal of change. Still got the high to the east, low to the southwest, a weather front trying to push into the northwest. That could introduce more cloud and maybe a little bit of rain across parts of northern Scotland, particularly so the Western Isles. But otherwise, the isobars are opening up, so light winds, again, some mist and fog. Inlands, that won't last too long, but around some coasts, it may be a little more stubborn and slower to clear away. Again, most places fine and dry. The possibility of one or two heavy showers breaking out through the afternoon, but they'll be pretty isolated. Most places dry. Very warm, hazy sunshine and temperatures in the southeast into the low 30s. By the time we get into the weekends, the pattern's starting to shift a little bit. The high's getting further away, but so's the low, and opening the door perhaps to these lows up to the north. Now, for most places, still very warm and humid into the weekend, but the cooler air is behind this weather front. And as we go into next week, that may well start to approach, but generally staying pretty warm into the weekends, but maybe with an increasing chance of some heavy showers. Got plans this weekend, and make sure you stay up to date with the forecast throughout the week. Best way to do that, of course, follow us on social media.